All right, Pistons fans, let's talk some sports. I would rant about the Detroit Lions. Well, okay, all right. I tell you what. I rant about the Lions first, and then I go over to the Pistons real quick. With the Lions could actually win if they would have let go of Stafford. The deal that was on the table, I believe it was for Von Miller for Stafford. I don't know how true that if it was a rumor or whatnot, if that was actually legit by from John Elway, approaching Bob Quinn. I don't know how legitimate that was, but if it was, they should have took it then. Not just because of where Stafford is right now or where the team is right now. Let's say not Stafford, but not just because of where the team is. It's put like this: to win with Stafford here or just about anywhere, you're gonna have to be able to do it one. You're gonna have to do it one or two ways. You have to the first way you have to do it how the Green Bay Packers did it with Brett Favre. And number two, you're gonna have to do it how the Denver Broncos did it with John Elway the second time around. John Elway had two stints in the Super Bowl. The second stint, you're gonna have to reduce his game. The first stint, they threw the ball and they got in that way. Second time, they ran the ball, they got in, they actually won. So, but here's the thing: if you take the ball out of Stafford's hand, you become in a run game, but you have to support that run game with a dominant defense. Now, I'm not really into sports that heavy, in terms of teams of the past, whatnot. But I have never seen a dominant defensive team with a dominant offensive team. Normally, you would see a balanced team, or you see one side is more dominant than the other. What they're trying to do with the Lions here is trying to make this team a balanced team, but this team cannot be balanced with Matthew Stafford because what he's good at is slinging the ball. He's not good at accuracy. Accuracy is good for us, like if you're going to be a balanced team because it's about precision. It's about possession ball, which means you control the clock. But Stafford's not a control the clock type of quarterback. He is a gunslinger. This is why when you 3-2, you're throwing the ball instead of running it. Not just this has been 12 years of it. It is what it is. And if you're going to win with Stafford, you got to take the ball out of his hand and be a run team first. So that means all the offensive weapons that you developed here, in terms of the air assault, you're gonna have to push that to the side. This is not Barry Sanders' year. I think that was '95 when he had Johnny Moore, Herman Moore, Brett Perriman, and they all was like up there with 100 catches. I think Herman Moore had like 123 catches, and Brett Perriman was right up there with him, and then Johnny Moore was like I think he had like 40 to 60 catches, and it was pretty good with Barry Sanders still getting his 1,500 yards. There was a balanced offense. They had no defense to back that up. So there was a dominant offensive team with no defense. That's why I said they should have got rid of Stafford 3 years ago, or when that offer was on the table for Von Miller. If that deal was two things why the team is like the way that it is right now, and I will leave all the bias. I mean not bias. I'll leave all the speculations out of it. Two reasons why this team is actually in this position that it is. The draft that they had. The draft that Josh Allen was there, that cost them like 3 years. Not getting Josh Allen cost them 3 years. TJ Hockenson is a great consolation prize. He will be good for an offense that ran the ball. But for an offense that passed the ball, he's not going to be good here. Why? Because you got 4 different receivers that is just equally as good as he is or even better than he is. That can, that will take it out of his hand. He will be great with a run game and one good receiver. So the second reason is when they had the shot to get Von Miller here, what this team lacks above all else on defense is that outside outside edge linebacker. That guy that makes everybody else better. Von Miller, Josh Allen was that guy. Since they didn't have the chips to go after a Khalil Mack, and probably a good deal that they didn't. Whatever. So that's the reason why this team was going to stink up under Patricia. Now, if you get a Jim Harbaugh, he'll go into the draft and get you a Aldon Smith type guy with the pieces that San Francisco had already had, and it takes him over the top. That draft took him over the top. His first draft took him over the top. He had a position quarterback, a position type of quarterback, in Alex Smith. And of course, he got hurt, and then Kaepernick took over and all that good stuff. But when you have a veteran quarterback like David Blau is great, he will be great in this offense. Abunda Bevel. David Blau will be great in Darrell Bevell's offense. Matthew Stafford will not look good in Darrell Bevell's offense. It just won't happen. Darrell Bevell's offense is predicated off the run game. So that's why it's hard to win with Stafford. And the reason why I said that, I won't go back to the first gripe that I had with the organization among the so many. They should never got rid of Jim Schwartz for this one reason, not because what he did in Philly and so forth and all that. He built it and they didn't allow him to finish. The reason why Tony Dungy was able to win in Tampa Bay, he built it and they allowed him to finish. But he didn't get the title, of course. Gruden, that was Dungy's team. No. Wait. Who got no? Did Tony Dungy win in Tampa Bay? I don't think he did. Oh, did he? Forgive me, because I know Gruden ended up going to Tampa Bay. I don't know how that worked out, but that was Tony Dungy's team. I don't know if he got them the title or not. I'm not sure. But anyway, if you're gonna, I don't know. All right, I'm gonna leave it alone because I'm hopping, and I'm gonna go ahead and rant on the Pistons for a second. And if I get back my thought, I go back to it. I was talking about Jim Schwartz. Yeah, there it is. Jim Schwartz actually could have closed out the deal. He built the team. He just needed one more, or maybe possibly two more draftings, whatever. But they was cap strapped. Their money was tied up with Stafford, Calvin Johnson, and Sue. So they didn't have no flexibility. It was nothing he can do. There's nothing that Cardwell can do because their money was strapped. However, Quinn put them in a great position to capitalize whatever. All they need now is a veteran guy, a veteran head coach that will come put them over the top. And I think Jeff Schwartz will probably be the guy if he don't run himself out of town. He will what Jim Harbaugh would do for the Lions is what Larry Brown did with the Pistons. He will give you a lot of diva type stuff, like a vagabond type stuff. He'll give you these weird emotions type deal. And it will he will run himself out of town. But I think he probably will be the guy. If not, you got to go with somebody who has a winning pedigree, who's not going to come in as a first year coach and nothing like that, or with no experience. You need somebody who's ready to go. This team is ready to go. They are one draft or one off season away. The Lions, that is. With that being said, let's skip over this team. Actually, the Lions. Actually, this team is a 10-win team this year. If they would have ran the ball more so than throwing the ball, if they committed to running the ball first, not a couple plays. No, our offense is going to be best off the run game. T.J. Hawkins would eat off of that. This team would be so great. But anyway, for you to be a run game, you're going to have the defensive personnel to stay on the field, because the run game is going to control the clock. If you're going to control the clock, you got to be able to give your offense a time to break. So that defense is going to have to be stout. That's the reason why this team will always lose with Stafford, because if you're throwing the ball constantly, that the clock is not moving. The clock is not moving. And if you go 3 and out, you get a turnover, whatever, that puts your defense back on the field. If your defense is going to play good, if your defense is playing good, they're going to go back on. They're going to get tired quickly, or they're going to be very disinterested to go out there because they own the field. They're it's like any job. You're not going to over. I don't. It don't matter how much you're paying me. You're not going to overwork me. This is a team. Every spot does they part. If the offense is going to be a passing team, it's going to be hard for you to win that way. It's going to be very hard. Even with a balance, you can't. I don't know if you could be balanced with Stafford, because Stafford is a gunslinger. You will have to reduce it, like Green Bay did with Brett Favre. They took the ball out of his hand, and I think that's when they got Ahman Green, and they started running the ball, and they got him a good defense, and they won. Let's see. Same thing with Denver. You got Denver. You got John Elway, good defense with a run game, and they won. So this Lions team is just like in the same position that they was with Schwartz. They are one draft away from actually making this defense team a dominant defensive team. They have all the offensive weapons that they need. They have all the offensive pieces, let's say it that way, that they need. They don't need to do anything. They're just going off season and load up on nothing but defense. Nothing but defense. If you want to get a guard, I get it. Get you a guard. But I wouldn't. I would say this: I would not sign Kenny Golladay. I would trade him before I sign him. I don't know if NFL do a sign and trade. I don't know how that works, but I would trade him before I sign him. Now he's too much of a luxury. Don't get me wrong; he helps out Stafford, but Stafford. That's the point what I'm making. This team should not be a Stafford first team. It should be a running team first, dominant defense second, Stafford third, if it's going to be in that pecking order. With that being said, let's push that aside. Let's go into the Piston talk. I'm going to talk about Troy Weaver, what Troy Weaver is doing real quick. Or maybe I should just do another separate video with that. All right, I'll do a separate video. All right, Lions fans, I salute.